Hello, hello. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Okay, so let's start with the video. Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we are going to be understanding the efficient data management sources, or you can say the different ways by which we can efficiently manage the data. Okay, in specifically Kotlin. So what exactly we are going to be doing here is we are going to understanding Room, Android Room. Okay, what exactly is Android Room? How to create an efficient data management system with Kotlin and Room. Okay, we will be even implementing storing and receiving data using Room persistence library in Kotlin. So let's get started with that. So before we begin, there are some of the major things that we should be knowing properly. Okay, so what exactly is there? The Android architecture, it gives us the guidelines of app architecture with libraries for common tasks, okay, like life cycle management and all. So what are the prerequisites? So talking about the prerequisite, firstly you need to know recycler view. Okay, so recycler view is the one of the main things that you need to be knowing over here. Then you need to know little bit about SQL, okay, and yeah, basic functions like if, else, and all these things. So all these things you have to be knowing before starting off this particular prerequisites over here. So these are the basic things that we should be basically knowing over here. Now, what we are going to do in this particular lecture, we are going to implement the architecture using Android architecture components. We will be working with database to get and save data and pre-populate the database with sample words. Then we will be displaying all this using our recycler view over here. Okay, so we will be doing that as well. And what we will be doing, we will be opening a second activity when the user tab press the plus buttons or something like that. So we will be implementing that part as well in this particular video. So for that, let's get started by firstly creating an Android Studio project. Okay. So we'll head over to Android Studio. For that, everybody should be having Android Studio and all. Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Let's understand the architecture components. So let me show you right here. This is the basic architecture component. Okay. I hope it is visible to everybody over here. This is the architecture components. Okay. Now, what do we have over here? We have live data. Okay. So it basically holds the class that can be observed. Okay. Always holds cache latest versions of the data. Then we have view model over here, which acts as a communication center between repositories and UI. The UI no longer need to worry about the origin of the data. Then you have over here entities. Okay. And inside entities, you have room database. Then you have DAO, or we can say data access object, basically a mapping of SQL queries to functions. Okay. So we will be starting off with that part. Now, what we have, you have, a room word sample architecture. What it does, it tells us that, represents what we will be creating or what exactly happens over here. So this is here. You can check that part out. See, this is the room word sample architecture. In this, you can see we have main activity. Inside, we have observer and new word activity. Then you have live data, and you even have the word repositories and the room function over there. Okay, so let's quickly go to Android Studio and start with creating our own app. So we have created over here a new app, and what I have done over here is I have named this new app. I have named this new app as data management. Okay, and this is just an empty activity, and inside this activity we have done this part. Okay, now starting off with another thing, we have some basic upgradations in the Gradle. So what we need to do, we need to add the component libraries to our Gradle file. So we will be heading over to the project. Inside project we have Gradle script. So we'll click on Gradle script. We'll go to the module app build.gradle, and inside this, what you have to do, you have to apply the cat, okay, Kotlin plugin by adding in the plugin section defined on the top of this particular build Gradle part. Okay, so you can see that we have already Android application, then we have Kotlin Android. Now, what we are going to write, we are going to write ID. Inside ID, we will be adding Kotlin dash capped like that. Okay, so we will be adding Kotlin capped, which will be looking, either you can type it like that or you can just copy paste it. So I'll be just writing it down like that. Then we have some of the APIs that we will be using requires what JVM target should be 1.8. So we will go and add it to Android block as well. Okay. So inside this Android block, you can see we have different parts. Okay, and in this we will get somewhere Kotlin options. So it's JVM target 1.8. If it's something else, you can just change it to 1.8 or like that. Okay. Now, what we will do here is we will replace the dependency blocks with various types of dependencies. So this is the dependency block right here. Okay. Now inside this, we will add, you know, app compact, then activity version, then what all dependencies for working with architecture components. We have to, probability you view the version numbers in Gradle and all these things. So I'll do what? I'll just write this basic ape dependencies and I'll just paste it right here. Okay, so here is the dependency part. I'll write copy and let me close this. And inside this, we will select all these dependencies and we will replace it. See, for testing this, UI is over here, then Kotlin components over here, lifecycle components here, and we have room components here as well. Okay, so here we have the multiple types of dependencies over here. Okay, you can see that dependencies are different types, and you even have various sorts of changes that is going to be implemented. So we will be working with that part as well. So let's do one thing. Maybe there is couple of more dependencies left. So let me check that whether we need to add more or not. And as soon as if it's necessary, I'll add two more. Okay, so yeah, what we need to add two more over here. We'll just paste it like activity version and app compact version like that. So these are the dependencies added. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to be making the following changes, and what we will do, we will just write sync now over here. Now heading back to the gradle.scripts, that to project one. Okay, so we inside this, what we will do, we will check out some of the changes if necessary. Okay, and we will be adding that part as well. So yeah, let me give it us, and inside this we will write build scripts, and so yeah, what we will do, we will open our build.grable, and in that we have project file. We will make the following changes at the particular build script block. Okay, and we will add the Kotlin version as well. So let me check whether we have added the Kotlin version here or not. So as of now, we don't have anything. And So yeah, we will be taking this part and copying this code from there and we'll paste it like that. Okay. So now what it does, it basically tells us some of the versions, that activity version should be 1.4. Okay. Then what we need to here, we need to check material version, then junior version, then espresso version, then junior version. All these things you have to check once. Then let me do one thing. Let me again try again, and still what error it's throwing. Let me check. So three errors. Project error. Okay. Cannot get properly. Okay, so in this particular line, they are unable to fetch the Kotlin version. Okay, so do we have any sort of suggestions over here? Let's check. If it gives us, okay, so yeah, still it will not be working properly over here. So let me do what? Let me go back to this script part and we should check what all things it is telling us to analyze. Okay, so in this part we does not see any sort of errors over here. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me add build script. So you see, it's technically not necessary to add build scripts and all, but yeah, still for the proper version, I'm checking that whether we have build script here or not. Yeah, build script. No, we don't have build script over here, so yeah, we can add this part here. So this part is done, then let's try again, and yeah, still it says what must appear before plugin. Okay, so it's telling that the build script should be appearing before the plugin. So let's do that part. So we'll actually cut the build script from there and we will be pasting this build script part right above this plugin. Okay, so this part is done and let's click on try again. Only build script, plugin management, and other plugins are allowed before plugins block. No other statements are allowed. Okay, so maybe this part needs to be trimmed down and yeah, paste it down below. Now if I'll again click try again, now it should technically yeah, not give us that error. And yeah, you can see that it is downloading all the data that it's necessary. Okay, you can see it's taking about some time. It's like 1 MB, 2 MB, 1.48 MBs and all these types of files. So yeah, let's give it a couple of minutes to get downloaded. Till then we are working with this part. So until it gets downloaded, let's check what is the next part that we have to do. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to be creating an entity. The data for this app is words. And what we will be doing, we need a simple table that can basically, hold these values. So what we are going to do, room will allow us to create tables via an entity. Okay. So let me do one thing. We will be creating a Android class file. Okay, and we will be naming it Word. But let's give it a minute till it's get download properly. Okay. So we will be creating, a basic Word file. Then we will be creating a room database. Okay. So what we will be doing, we will be adding a database, and inside this database, we will be connecting our Word table and all these things. Okay. So yeah, this part is done, I guess. Yeah. So let me close this out, and yeah, this is also done. And what error it throws? A new version of Android App Compact is available. Then 4 point, so 1.4.0. Okay. So we'll go to this project file where we have this project. Okay, yeah. Here we have the project file. Inside this, we have added all these, right? So yeah, app compact versions, and what it is available 1.6.1, and yeah, 1.7, like that. So 2.5.2, like that we have to add properly. Okay, so you can either do that by checking out all these things, like yeah, for every particular unit we have update. So what you can do, you can either check unit and copy paste like that, and we will be doing this part later on. Okay. Now I'll go back to the app folder, and inside this app folder we'll go to Java, and right under this Java we have main activity. So I'll do what, I'll right click and I'll write Kotlin class. Now inside this we will create a Kotlin class file, and we will name it as Word. Now inside this class we have Word. So now what I'm going to do, we will be writing data class, data class Word, and inside this it will be having a val that will be Word, and it will carry a string. So yeah, this is the basic thing which we will write. Now, to make this world class meaningful to the room database, we need to create an association between the class and the database using Kotlin annotation. So we will we use specific annotation to identify how each part of this class relates to an entity in the database. Room uses this extra information to generate codes. Okay. So what we will do, we will be writing our update file. We will be doing what? We will be updating our this file with different set of code. So I'll head over here. Okay, and inside this data file, I'll write entity. So entity, inside this entity, I'll write table name, and table name will be having the table name which we will be creating. So I'll write word table. Okay, and now I'll write class word. Yeah, so I'll write class word, and inside this word we will write primary key. Okay, and we will write column info. Okay, so column info, and inside this column info we will write name equals to word. So because it will be having the word over here, and right after this I'll write val word will be having a string. Okay, so our val word will be having a string over here that we are specifying in this particular set. Okay. Now, what we will be doing, we will be, you know, annotating. So what particular this annotation is doing over here? So this entity right here, entity and table name, okay? Each entity class represent an SQLite table. Annotate your class declaration to indicate that it's an entity, okay? And we have a primary key specified over here. So this, every time we create an entity, we need to specify a primary key. This basically helps us to keep things simple. Each word acts as its own primary key. Then we specifies the name of the column in the table. What we, if we want different, you can add something else like that. Okay. Now, what we will be doing inside this, we have written particularly val word string. Okay. But what we will do, we will be generating auto keys. Okay. If we really want it to, what we can do, we can write here auto generate, and auto generate will be true. And as soon as we will write auto generate, it will give us a val id, and inside the id we will be having int. So by this also you can properly work with the file. Okay, so yeah, this part. And what are the basic three errors it's telling? An annotation argument must be compile time constant. Okay, the character literal does not confirm expectation string. Too many characters. The character literal. Okay, so word so short. So we'll check what it's doing. Convert too long character to literal to string. Okay, so yeah, if we will change it to string, then it won't give me that error table like that. Now it's not giving me that error, so we will move on to the next topic. Now we will be creating a DAO. So what is a DAO? A DAO is data access object. What it does in this, we need to specifically specify an SQL queries and associate them with method calls. Okay. The compiler checks the SQL and generates all these queries from convenience annotations from common queries such as an insert. Room uses DAO to create a clean API for our code. Okay. So what we will be doing, let's start with creating DAO that provides query for getting all words ordered alphabetically, inserting a word, deleting all words, and for that what we will be doing, we will be heading over to our project, and inside this project, in this particular case here, we will write new Kotlin class, and we will write word DA. Okay. Why, first of all, let me tell you why we are learning all these things. So these things are very important for you to understand why data is managed, how exactly we will be helping out in managing the data. And this will basically help us to work with the upcoming projects that we will be creating. Okay. So what it will be doing here is, I'll firstly remove this part, and I'll write the DAO like that. Okay. Then writing after DAO, we'll write interface word DAO, and inside this interface word DAO, we will be writing queries. So query. Okay, so inside this we will write select asterisk from table. Okay, and this will be the basic queries that I'm telling you. So we will be writing the queries I'm telling you. You can just check that out. So select asterisk from word table order by, okay, ascending. Then we have one more query, that is inserting. So inserting on conflict. So we will head over here and we will write inserting command, and also there is one more that we have to write. But what we will be doing, we will be specifying the function over here, okay, that will be helping us out. So what we will do, what DAO is an interface. DAO must be either interface or abstract classes. Okay. So what we will be doing, we will be writing a fun get alpha get alpha bit alphabet sized words. Okay. And inside this we'll write list, and in this list we will be writing a word. Okay. So this will be a basic function type that we will be creating for that. Similarly, here I'll write suspend function, insert, okay, and in this we'll write word, and this will be also carrying a word part over here. So last query we will write query, and inside this query we'll write delete delete from delete from word table. Okay, and in this we will write suspend function delete all, like that. Okay. So what we have done, we have created different functions. This function, what it does, this function is a method to get all the words to have return list of words. Okay, so it's just telling us get alphabetical words and it will return us lists of words. Then what we have suspend function insert word. Now inside this we will write, it basically declares a suspend function to insert one word. Okay, and the last one what does, declares a suspend function to delete all words. So these are the basics. What is happening over here? Why it is giving us that error? Okay, so insert, import will be done. Yeah, import part is done. Then we have on conflict strategy. So on conflict strategy will be also imported. Then things won't be giving us any sort of errors. Yeah. So now you can see that we are not getting any errors, and yeah, this part is successfully completed. Okay. So now what we will do, we will be observing the database changes. So what exactly are the database changes? So in Word DAO, change the alphabetical order method so that it will return list of words in a wrapped order, which will be wrapped with flow. Okay. So we will change it to flow, and yeah, this is the flow. So we can either do what, we can import this part. It says update language level to something, something like that. Yeah, so now that part is not giving us error, but still this list is giving us error. What it is telling us, it's saying no argument type expected for class flow. Okay, so it's basically telling us that it does not expect any sort of argument. Then why we are giving it? Okay, like that. So let me once again remove this part and I'll just write flow. Now why this flow gives us an error, it says in this example we can see where exactly the flow is used. So let's keep it simple for now and yeah, we'll check what exactly is error. So we'll click here, update implementation to reflect signature changes. Yeah, still no anything. Let's try this part. Yeah, so now it's not giving us an error. We'll see what exactly happens over here. And as soon as, according to this, flow does not, allows us to change or, to take any input. But yeah, we will be seeing what exactly happens with the flow part. If this won't work properly, we will be adding the list, okay, inside our database. So we'll click next. Now what we will be doing, we will be adding a room database. Okay, so what we will doing, we will be creating a database class. Okay, so for that, I'll go here, new Kotlin class, and inside this Kotlin class, I'll name it to room database. Okay, so room database like that. I'll be creating a room database.kt file. Split. Okay, so yeah. Now inside this room database.kt file, we will be, creating basic code. What this will do, this will be abstracting and extending. Okay, it will basically need one instance of room database for our whole app. Okay, so what we will be doing, we will be creating a database which will be having an array. So let me do one thing. I have already created it, so I'll be explaining you what I have written. So yeah, you can see we have imported all these basic things which were necessary. Yeah, room database, what this is telling now. Import can be, yeah, everything looks good now. So what exactly is there? Now the database class room must be extract and extend room database. Okay, this is what we have written. Now we are doing the database exposes DOA through the extract getter method. Okay, which we have specified right here. Okay, so we have a getter method for each DOA, DAO. What it will be doing, it will be preventing having multiple instances of database open at the same time. Okay, and we will be writing get database, which will return us the particular single data. Okay, so now we will be going on and creating a basic repository. So to create a repository, we will be creating a new file. Inside this, I'll write new Kotlin class and I'll name it to Word repository. Okay, so I'll name it to Word repository and Inside this, we will be basically creating few basic types of code. Okay, we will be declaring a DOA inner class word repository. Inside this, I'll write private val DAO. Okay, actually, it will name as word DAO. And yeah, this part. Now, inside this, it will be having what all the queries in a separate thread. So I'll write val all words. Okay. Now, inside this all words, we will be having flow. So, flow will be having list. Okay. And inside this, it will be having word. Now, what exactly error happened with this flow part? Actually, we will be cutting that part from there. And yeah, here we will be initializing this with word DAO dot get. Okay, so particular method which we have written, right? So get alphabeticized words. Okay, so we will specify it like that with the particular things which we have created. Okay. So just to avoid any sort of spelling mistakes, I am making sure I'm writing the data properly. Okay. We can either do more changes. Okay, so explicit with this, it won't work. Okay, this part will not work if we will explicit it with. So what we can do, we can see create member function. Yeah, actually we will be doing that part as well. So now I'll write suppress. Inside suppress, we will write redundant redundant suspend modifier. Okay, so redundant suspense modifier. Then we have worker thread. And inside this worker thread, I'll write suspend function insert, which we have created, right? Insert function. It was having word. Yeah. This particular function we will be suspending, and right after this function, we will write word DAO dot insert, and it will basically insert the word which we are creating. Okay. So this part is done. Let me check why this flow is still giving us error. Okay. So we'll see for the flow part. Let me check. So we have flow, it is asynchronous flow. Okay. So what we will be doing here is we will be checking what are the errors we are getting in this flow, how to input and all these things. Okay. Yeah, in this part we can do, okay, so create alphabetically sized orders, which word dio is fine. Yeah, in this part we have to do a change. So in this function which we have written over there, it is import Kotlin X, this one. So I'll go to the word dio, same thing I'll import here, and now inside this I'll write list word. Okay. So now this part is not giving us any errors. And if I go to this part also over here, it should also not give us any error. All words. Well, all words actually maybe it's not written properly. It's not all words. It will be just WRDS. Okay, not the L1. So yeah, this part is done. Now let me see where we can implement more changes. So convert property initializer to getter. No, that still won't work. And what else we can do? We can convert to lazy property. No, move to constructor. We can do that part, move to constructor, but we are initializing this here, right? And this is the main thing which we are getting error with. So yeah, create member function, that still won't help at all. So yeah, as of now, let's do one thing. Let's keep it the same way as it is. Now we will be doing what? We will be creating a view model over here. Okay. So let's quickly jump on to creating a view model. So view model basically provides the data to the UI, and you can easily see, what exactly is going on and all these things. So yeah, for creating a view model, I'll go new, create Kotlin class, and I will write word view model like that. Okay. Now inside this word view model, we will be having many things. So first of all, we are going to be specifying private val. Okay, and it will be having repository, which is a word repository. Then this word repository will be having a view model. Okay, and yeah, let me close this part. View model will be having brackets. Yeah. Now we will be writing val all words, all words. It will have live data. Okay, and inside this live data, we will be having the list of what it will be having the list of word. Okay, and what it will be specified to the repository dot all words dot as live data. Okay, so this will give us the basic live data. Then we have function insert. So it will be function insert, and inside this it will be word, and right after this word it will be having view model scope dot launch. Okay. Now right inside this launch I'll write repository dot insert, and inside insert word. So this will basically insert the word over there. And now we are going to be creating a word view model factory. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just write that particular class so that you can directly see and understand. So model view provider we have over here. We will import that part. Yeah. So we have model view provider, and what exactly is happening in this code? We are basically created a word class, word view model that gets the word repository as a parameter and extends view model. Then we have added the live data as a variable to cache the list of words. Live data with all words will be basically, converting the flow of data as a live data, which we can, in real time, you can check that out. Then we have created a wrapper insert method that calls the repository insert. This way, what will happen? This way we will be, inserting in a encapsulated form from the URL. Okay. Then what we have created a view model as view model provider dot factory that will get the parameter, and it will, show us inside the particular layout. Now we need to create our XML file as well. So what we will be doing is we will be firstly going and creating a dark mode or light mode like that. Okay. So for that, what we'll be doing, we will be going to the theme. So I'll go to the app theme. We have alt enter, rename reference. Then what we have convert properly to getter. That will still not work. Yeah. And we have one or two final method that is convert to lazy, that won't work as well. So we'll have a look what we can exactly do to, get properly the all words things. Until that part, let me firstly go to the theme. So res, inside res, we have values, then you have themes, and inside themes, you have many files. So for that, what we are going to be creating, we are going to be creating a theme. So add a style for list item in the inside value we have. So let me create a new value resource file. I'll write styles.xml, and inside this styles.xml, we will be firstly adding the basic resource file. So yeah, this will be basic resource at the rate color primary. We will be initializing that color as well as of now. And we have word name. So these will be the word name right here. Okay. So this is the basic paddings and all. Then what we are going to be creating, we will be creating a new dimensional resource file. So we'll go to the project. Okay. This is the project window. Then we will be selecting new, and inside this, we will be creating a new Android resource file, which will be named as dimensions. Now we'll write new, and value resource file, and inside this we'll select dimension. Okay, and I'll write elements like that. So this is the dimension.xml. Okay. Now inside this, this will be having a dimension like that. We will be adding a basic dimension, which will be a big padding. Okay, so whenever we will add big padding, that will be 16 degrees. So now inside themes also we have colors primary, then we have color primary dark. Let me check whether we have that or not. So color, actually we have colors, so we basically don't need to specify all these parts over here. So theme material theme dot dark action bar. So let's do one thing. Let's remove this part. That's fine. Yeah, so this part is done. Then what we are going to do, we are going to layout, and inside this layout, we will be creating a new resource file, and I'll name it as recycler item.xml. So recycler view item.xml, like that we have created an item. Then I'll just head on to the code part, and inside this code, we will be creating a basic linear layout. Okay, and inside this linear layout we will be having a basic part of this. So let me show you what exactly I am talking about. So split, it will look somewhat like this. Okay, so I have just initialized a basic linear layout which is just having a normal text view. Okay, and we have a basic word item. So yeah, this is the text view. Now we will be doing what? We will go to the activity main. So we'll go to the project activity main, and inside this activity main, we'll go to split. Now inside the split view, you can see we have our text view. Okay, so inside this text view, it is having some of the basic things. Okay, so what we will do, we will be adding two things. First of all, I'll remove this part. I'll remove this basic text view, and instead of this text view, we will be adding a recycler view. Okay, so you can see not this part. We will be basically adding a recycler view. Okay, so yeah, you can see that we have added a recycler view, and inside this we have floating action button, which you can see right here. Okay, and let me check what are the strings we have over here. So here you can see that we have this particular file. In this, it is telling that we have not added the content description. Okay, so it is asking us to tell, the strings part where it will be having, any sort of word and all and all. So you can just check on the file, and yeah, we will be adding these basic things in the later part. Then we have done what we have created a recycler view. So we need to display the data in recycler view, which will be a little great. Now, what we will be doing, we will be just throwing the data in a text view. In this collab, we will be needing to create a word list adapter. Then we need a word holder and all these things. Okay. So first of all, we will create a class here, and I'll name it as word list adapter. So word list adapter will be the class which I have created, and it basically it extends list adapter. And what it is an basic thing. So we will be doing the change in that part. Now I'll just do what I'll just explain you what I have added in this particular class. Okay, so don't worry with that. So this is the word list adapter that I have written. Okay, so what is the error? Let me see. Uh, we will be importing all these things. So yeah, import view, import recycle view, then import text view. Then we have layout inflator also we have to include, and then we have the util that also has to be import. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. What we have created a view holder that allows us to bind a text to a text view. Okay, why exactly I'm not coding all these things? Because we have already understood what exactly is recycle view, how to deal with recycle view, right? So my basic part is we are just understanding the concept how data will be efficiently managed, and creating recycle view is already done in the code, so we will be not necessarily doing that. Okay. Then what we have basic holder that allows us to bind the text. Then you have words comparator. Okay, that defines how to compute if the two words are same or if the contents are same or not. Then you have word list adapter. Okay. Now what we will be doing, we will be adding the recycler view in the onCreate method of main activity. Okay. So yeah, here we will be adding that part as well. So what I'll do, I'll just write set content view, and we will write a method on create method. Here we have the on create method, right? So inside this on create method, we will be writing few part. That is, firstly, we will add recycler view. Okay. Then we will add layout inflator. Okay. Layout inflator has also been added. So these both part, adapter, layout inflator, and all these things has been added. And technically it should look a little bit different. So let me go to this part, and here only the code. Then let's go to the main activity. Let's see what description it is giving us. In this string part, we'll just click OK, and this part has been added. Okay, so yeah, now if we will even check this out, we should be able to see somewhat Yeah, only the design part is visible. Yeah, but still it looks good. Now we have word repository. Let's comment this line out and let's check whether everything working fine or not. Okay, so it will automatically connect to an emulator, and as soon as it will connect to an emulator, let's check what exactly is going on with the file, whether it's working correctly or not. Okay. Yeah, Gradle has been finished with 0. Okay, so it's telling basic things that it's telling me some of the basic things that has happened, and let's check what we can do about this as of now. So yeah, we'll check that part as well, not now. So yeah, as of now, you can see that the activity and each file is working fine. Okay, activity in every file is working fine, but the only problem which we are facing over here is so the only issue that we are facing right here is for some dependency part. Let me check what exactly it's telling us. So it's telling us up to date errors or maybe some conflicting errors. Okay, so caused by API integral tough properties error while evaluating part. So I think so. These are some of the errors that cap to generate sub debug Kotlin failed. Okay, and also we have Java pre-compiled debug failed. Okay, these are the basic things. Then it's telling us write debug signing and all these things. So these are just the uh, you know basic import errors, or you can say either some of the line errors that we have done. So we will be checking that out as well. And as of now, you can see the layout part works fine. Right, you have created a better layout over here. Okay, the layout part looks good, and remaining part is also working exactly fine. So we will be dealing with these another parts in the next video, where we will be just solving out these basic errors that we are encountering. And yeah, if I'll be checking out and evaluating the lines, it will take plenty of time, which is completely useless. Instead of that, I'll analyze the code, and I'll be doing what? I'll be updating you what are the basic errors that we need to be curing before starting to do anything. That's okay. So I hope what you have learned is helpful. We are just working with Room. It is an efficient data management tool that is created by Kotlin or Android developers, sorry, by Google actually, for Android developers, which basically helps us to initialize a proper and a well advanced method for basically, creating or, managing our data properly. So these are the things that we have to make sure in these parts. Okay. Make sure to have a read about the Room. Okay, and also uh, enhance your SQL skills so that you can understand what are the basic queries. Actually, that is not even necessary. I have just written a basic set of codes which can be understand by anyone who does not even have a great knowledge in SQL or something like that, because it's written in really simple order, like select asterisk from word table, then you have on conflict, delete from word table, and all these things. So it's extremely basic, but it tells us how efficiently we can manage our data, okay, and how you can represent data. This part is kind of important, as in the future when we will be dealing with a music application, then at that time it is very important for you to understand how these things work. Okay, so make sure to subscribe to the channel for watching out that video and also the upcoming projects that we will be creating in Android. Okay.